Greetings and welcome to episode 27 of my Empire Total War Darth mod Great Britain campaign. And this, my friends, we left it last time, where many things are happening, my friends. Most of them are around us. Most of the action is happening around us with other nations. We're not getting drawn into any unnecessary wars. We're keeping ourselves below the radar, below the parapet, as it were, my friends. But we're still taking action here. We're still moving on to make things much more comfortable, should I say, for us in the future. We're also setting ourselves up in many strategic positions, just ready to strike if the opportunity arises and if we need to strike and take that opportunity. Now, let's have a quick recap here because it's been quite a while since we've been here. First of all, we've absolutely brought most of Britain here, especially the economic sort of apparatus, should we say, of Great Britain absolutely to its fullest. Obviously, we've still got a long way to go in terms of research, but we have brought a lot of sort of the economy in Britain absolutely to the maximum it can be. We are trying to find that equilibrium, that fine balance between economy and also bringing our armies up to a position where they can be used to strike out against any potential enemies that might show them or present themselves in the future. But of course, the great behemoth, the great titan, my friends, within this entire campaign is France. It really is absolutely a monster of a nation. It really is absolutely huge. Now, for a brief moment in time, we supported the Dutch, and of course the Dutch have been absolutely rampaged by the French, who just merely meandered back into Amsterdam and just took it as if the Dutch weren't even there. It was a shame because we really did back the Dutch with especially a lot of technology, a lot of the research we did, we gave to the Dutch to be able to boost their army, to bolster their army. There was just a slim glimmer of light, a glimmer of hope that they might have been able to strike against the French, and that might have sort of steamrolled or barrel rolled the French in the west, and that might have given the Dutch a bit of sort of a leverage against the French here. We might have even seen the French starting to collapse in the west. We would have taken probably Paris, and that way then we'd have had the Dutch and ourselves on the continent, and that would have given quite a strong, coherent, cohesive alliance. Unfortunately, that was not to be. The Dutch were absolutely smashed. Unfortunately, they were a really good ally, and indeed Hanover here as well. We were at peace. We were allies with Hanover. We've given them quite a lot of money, quite a lot. Well, that's not so much money, dare I say. That's not quite entirely true, but a lot of technology to try and get themselves up to a point where they might have been able to aid the Dutch against the French, and of course the French have just absolutely steamrolled in here as well. As you can see, Hanover is now besieged by French forces, and it looks like two of our allies, we were sort of behind the scenes, in the shadows, helping out, without the French actually knowing it was us. It looks like they're both going to be disposed of quite brutally by France. But France haven't had it all their own way. They did launch a massive foray into the Eastern Front, and I mean they absolutely blitzkrieged all of Central Europe, and pretty much blitzkrieged most of the Eastern Europe here as well, almost on the border. Well, they actually were into Minsk. They took Vilnius. They really did absolutely pound the Polish almost into submission. I thought the Polish were gone. I thought they were finished. But the Poles have actually struck back against France. It looks like the sort of eastern frontier that the French have sort of established is shrinking. It is being pulled back by the Polish. Could we see a resurgence by the Poles? Could they actually be the sort of stepping stone that we may need to be able to strike? As if they push west and start taking down France, then that might be the opportunity for us to strike ourselves and claim some of these territories. Remember, we are not getting into wars unless we know that we can take that territory and hold it, because we are not the strongest nation, not by far. Things at the start of the campaign sort of worked against us. We tried a certain tactic, certain strategy, because of things were out of our control. Unfortunately, it didn't work as we hoped, but that doesn't mean that we sort of lay down and die, my friends. We give in, we don't. We stand firm, we stand tall, and we wait. Patience is a key. Patience is a virtue, my friends. It really is, and we're going to wait for that. So as you can see, we are starting now to build up quite a formidable fleet here. Look at that. We're already starting to get some first-rate ships. Not the best, don't get me wrong. By no means is this fleet the best. I'm not saying it is. No way am I saying that, because when you look at what the French have got, I mean, look at that. I mean, that's just absolutely stupendous. It really is. And here as well, look at that. Look at that navy, and look at the size of the army they've got here, just sort of loitering about in the port. They don't even need the army. That's how powerful they are. And they've also got some pretty strong troops here, as you can see already in the Netherlands. And indeed, they don't. I think they can have a rebellion here, but look at the troops they can get. Grenadiers de France, Swiss Guard, Infanterie Vote. I can't even pronounce it. I do apologise to my French viewers. But as you can see, they can put together some pretty elite armies here and some pretty elite forces. But so can we. Look at this for an elite army. It is wonderful. It really is. And we are going to begin to start assigning generals eventually, because we're getting enough armies. We can do that. Now, Scotland was invaded and taken over by our sort of long-standing foe, which is Louisiana here. We're still, as you can see, still at war with them. We're still at war with Denmark, and we're at war with the Cherokee nations. Now, they haven't come back and bothered us at all. They're a protectorate for France, but we can go to war with Louisiana and not have any problems with France, because France have let it go. We are yeah, we're friendly. We're friendly with all of the nations here as well, apart from the Ottoman Empire, indifferent. But to be honest with you, if they declare war on us, we do have, let me just quickly show you this, my friends, we have the Leeward Islands here, Antigua. We took off the pirates, we destroyed the pirates, and that's given us quite a diplomatic boost, but it's also given us a launching area here, a strategic point in the Caribbean to be able to strike against the two Ottoman isles here, Jamaica and the Bahamas, which we gave away for peace, remember. We're very, very much against what I wanted to do, but still we had to do it. Mind you, Spain is pretty strong here indeed. Look at that. That is strong. So if Spain decided to attack, that would be pretty brutal. What's the navy like? Not that strong. I'd say our navy is probably a little bit better here, but to be able to move our entire navy into the Caribbean would be a real stretch. And they've got reserves as well, which we don't have. But we're still bringing in 1,620 here from the Leeward Islands here, Antigua. And that's only going to grow. We've got a commercial basin being upgraded here, and we've also got the full royal palace, which we took, which is already in place from the pirates. We've already got full metal roads. We've maximised as best we can here our sort of trade coming from here, but the main thing we're doing now, my friends, is right up here. Iceland. We're going for Iceland here. Again, your advice has been absolutely fantastic, and your advice has led us to this point here where we're going to actually take and attack Reykjavik here and dispose of the Danes once and for all. Claim Reykjavik here. Give us a good strategic point here in the Atlantic Ocean. Not only is it an excellent stopping point for movement and sort of operations in America, but it's also an excellent sort of, how can I say, an area where we can sort of not hide away, but we can sort of live within the shadows of the sort of European superpowers, out of the way, forming our plans, building our armies, almost like a secret sort of base, as it were. Not secret as per se, but if we're just left alone, we keep ourselves out of harm's way until we're ready to strike. This could be a good place to build up forces, build up navies, also bring in some trade as well, and just gather our forces, gather our strength, ready for the attack. And of course, look at the size of Russia. I mean, Russia is absolutely monstrous, and they're pretty. I think they might be butting heads with India here, because they've got Afghanistan here as well. I'm not sure how much the Mughals are going to allow them to do that. You can see the Mughals do have a huge amount of forces here, but Russia has absolutely moved right onto the doorstep here of India, and I've got a feeling, are they at war with one another, I wonder? Mughal, no they're not, but they're at war with France and Spain, but they're allied with Russia. So that makes them probably the most powerful alliance in the world, and that is no exaggeration. They really do have that. Look at that. Poland even has Istanbul down here, making a lot of money for them, and they're also sending troops up from Istanbul up to the sort of the north, as it were. They've even got Greece, but look at this here. Why have the Russians moved this? And it's heading into, or maybe they're moving towards the Black Sea here in the Crimea. But are they at war with Poland? No, they're only at war with Sweden, and they're allied with. No, they've got have they got trade with? No, they don't. I wonder if they might be making a move against Poland eventually. Mind you, they'd struggle to take this, even with this army they've got here. But that is not our concern. Our only concern with that is that that gives us an excellent opportunity to be able to strike if things go our way. Now, we can't move into Reykjavik just yet. We are still quite spread up. As you can see, we've had to land two forces.
Yes, sir.
I don't think they can support each other. They might be able to support each other just, but if they don't, I feel confident that either one of these can probably take the armies themselves. Ideally, this army has got 3 12 pounders, not the best, but we're trying to get our research up here. As you can see, we're getting light infantry doctrine to get platoon firing to move down to Army Staff College, which is going to give us horse guards. Look at that, what a wonderful sight there. And we've also got here, let's have a look, we're also getting rights of man, which we're getting to increase and boost the technology research rate as quickly as we can here. We've got pretty much all of the agriculture and educational, sort of agriculture, metal and textiles is full. We've got all of those. We're not doing too bad actually. We've got all of the naval facilities. We're trying to move our research forward as best we can, but we've done everything we can here. Now we've maximised everything we can here in Britain until we get that next sort of that next technology leap. There it is, steam engines. What we need. Oh, we also need machine tools, which we'll probably get after this. We'll make Oxford start researching machine. Oh, have we got machine tools already? I don't believe we have. No, we don't. So we need machine tools to be able to get steam engine. Steam engines can open up a massive amount of economic power. We've got 16,000. We've got coming in 6,068. Ah, that's because the Ottoman Empire's been hit. Sweden's been hit, and Prussia has been hit as well. So we're losing quite a bit. We're going to try to keep a little bit of a bank here for ourselves. 10,000 for Somerset House. That is exceptionally expensive, but the bonus here of the regional tax income is pretty nice there. Naval College. We might go for an ordnance board to get the 24 pounders. So I think we're going to spend the money here on an ordnance board. And can we? I think we're going to keep Castle here in Edinburgh. We need to keep these capitals of Scotland and England really up on the military technology as well as the economic technology. We've got two powerful armies, but look at that, we're forming quite the army here. Oh my word, look at that. What do we have at our disposal here? Oh my goodness me, look at that. Black Watch, Royal Highlanders, Life Guards. Of course, they're limited in the money you can get, but still, you put these into a highly elite army, they really do pack a punch. Right, I think we can probably end the turn here, my friends. We can't get any trade with anybody else. We can't work with anybody else. Savoy, but they're hostile towards us. Very hostile. Right, let's end the turn. Let's see what happens here. France, the absolute titan in this campaign. And Spain as well have absolutely carved themselves out quite the empire. Prussia, Poland. This could prove pivotal here. What happens with Poland? Will they push the French back from the east? No, they haven't. What about Russia? Sweden, Louisiana, nothing at all. Everything nice and calm and quiet. It's given us time to. There it is. They've come out here. We're gonna have to resolve this one. Ah, we lost, but still. We can take. We can take the hit. We got to expect that. That's okay. We shall rebuild those ships. There it is. Right. Actually, they've taken a pounding. Look at this. These armies are nowhere near in the shape they should be. They're absolutely being smashed to pieces here. They've been bled dry. They've not had any money to which replenish, recuperate. Which means if we can take these armies out here, we should be able to take Reykjavik and claim another territory for the British Empire. Slowly but surely we should do. Let's take this fight, my friends. The last hurrah, the last charge of the Danes here. The last territory they have. That's why we've struck. So we can remove ourselves of another enemy. Remember, they were at war with us. And also claim another territory for ourselves. A very, very strategically important one. It allows us to build our armies up, our navies up here, in quiet, in solitude, out of the way of prying eyes. That's going to suit us absolutely down to the ground, you mark my words. This, my friends, will be a test here of this army. There's a lot of enemies still, but they have been absolutely crippled by sort of the loss of income. They've been pretty much there's deserters. People, the army isn't getting paid, so the deserters. People, men are leaving the armies. Whoa, is this going to be a city battle potentially? But we're going to try. Oh, luckily, we can move forward back. We've also got one cavalry, which we're going to probably hold back actually. But we need to set up a very strong defensive line here. We don't have any reinforcements at all. Let's have a look at the deployment here. We can wait for them to come over. Now if they come through the town towards us, that means they're going to break up all of their sort of lines. Their marching lines are going to be broken. Yeah, they've got to come through all of this sort of, well, through Reykjavik effectively. Or the town just before Reykjavik. Now where is Reykjavik? Can we see it in the distance? There it is. No, there's Reykjavik over there. That's Reykjavik there right in the distance. So we're actually fighting in a town just before it. The sort of the town that's the stepping stone before Reykjavik itself. So I think we'll take this centrally. There's a lot of divots, a lot of dips and valleys here. We want to try and keep things as sort of calm as we can in terms of the deployment. We shall put our general here as always at the back. We've got 3 12-pounders. This is going to prove pretty vital in our defence here. We've also got carcass shot. Oh, we've got explosive shell. We'll go carcass shot for the start. Oh, look at that. What a wonderful sight. I think we'll have, as always, the Grenadiers. Look at that, the 1st Grenadier Regiment in the vanguard of the defence here. They've got grenades as well. Wonderful. Ooh. I think we'll have the 4th Grenadiers on the right. And again, as per your advice, we're not going to be using too much of a gap here. We're going to keep them quite close together, but enough of a gap in case cannon does come into the picture. We can. Let's go a little bit closer here. Look at that, nice and tight, compact there. We've got the 33rd foot. I think we'll probably put these gentlemen right on the sort of here next to their Grenadier brethren. Again, not too far apart. Mind you, most of these regiments, as you can see, are very, very experienced. The 14th here, they've earned the right to be next to the Grenadiers. Let's pull that in just a little bit tighter. Oh, that's looking excellent, my friend. We're going to keep 2 regiments back. I think we'll keep the 24th in reserve. Take them off fire at will. We don't want any casualties from our own making if we can help it. What about the 11th? The 11th is actually very experienced. We'll put these here on the left. Well, the 19th. 19th isn't at risk. We'll pull the 19th back in reserve. Gentlemen, please. Go. Definitely want to cover these flanks. I'll pull back the horse as well. I think the cavalry to here. 13th regiment, yeah, that's an experienced regiment. We'll have these gentlemen. Come on, now, please, no, gentlemen, please. Gather your thoughts. Gather your wits about you. Excellent. I think we'll have the 25th regiment. No, again, that's not a very experienced regiment. We'll hold these back as well, I think, in reserve. We can always, with the demarcation line, that's right back here, so we can actually move some of these regiments back. With the 27th. Actually, that's not a very experienced regiment, but it doesn't matter. We've got plenty of regiments here, my word. I want to make sure we got all these flanks covered, so we'll put the 5th regiment, which is a highly experienced regiment. We'll put these gentlemen here. Just pivoting them, just in case we get attacked from the side. You never ever know. I'm not putting any of these forces in a building at all. And again, we'll just put a regiment back to here in reserve. We do have a lot of reserves here. Regiment. The 1st regiment. And the 12th regiment, last but not least the 12th. Now, none of these are on fire, will they? I hope. No, they're not. I think we're ready to go here, my friends. Let's begin the battle. Right, they're coming in from all angles here. So we're actually going to pull these back. I'm going to walk these. I know that many of you like me to walk my regiments just to save them. I completely understand, my friends. I know I do push my regiments pretty hard in the sort of the running them very, very hard. Really hard sometimes, but I have to there's no rush. Where is the... Oh, there it is. Look at that. My word. What have we got coming in here? General's bodyguard. Regiment of horse. These have been absolutely blitzed, these armies. Are they going to come up through the valley and attack through this sort of left hand, our left, their right? That's something we do have to watch out for. Take it off fire at will, I think. We'll pinpoint where we want them to attack. We're not going to attack on moving targets. If they stay bunched together like this, we are going to absolutely blitz them here. Militia, lots of militia, all militia. If you would please, gentlemen, open fire. That's why we need the. That's why we need the 24 pounders. That's why we're getting that. That's why we're getting the advanced sort of gunnery school. Look at that. Looks like they're going to move around to this flank here. So just to compensate for that. What we are going to do is we're going to move this regiment to the straight here. We're going to bring in the 6th regiment to here. Put them on fire at will. Let's give them free rein. They're going to come in pretty heavy on this flank here. We're going to shift these gentlemen just over to here, I think, just in preparation. Oh, what a shot, sir! What an excellent shot, look at that. Shattered, wavering. General's bodyguard is full here. They've got quite a lot of enemy, quite a lot of troops coming, but there's small pockets of troops. As I say, look at that. This, the buildings, the city here, this village is breaking up all of their sort of, the cohesiveness here of their regiments. Oh, look at that, that's a full regiment there. If we could destroy that, it would be exemplary. Steady, gentlemen, steady now. Absolutely annihilated, completely destroyed. Oh my word. What a shot, what a shot. Danes thought they could push us away. But Reykjavik is ours, my friends, I can assure you. Need to remove these from the order of battle as quickly as possible. They're probably their most cohesive force they have. We need to destroy them as quickly as possible. The rest of the army can be dealt with by the infantry. We need them to gain as much experience as we can, these cannons, because as you say, my friends, that will increase their range, increase their accuracy, I beg your pardon, and also the speed of reloading. The better they are, the faster and more accurate they'll be. Which is exactly what I want. Look at this, the general here. Just overlooking here this battle, waiting for his men to do their job. Are they in position? Almost in position. We've got all flanks covered here. Oh, caught them wonderfully there. A little bit. They're pulling back. Here comes the general. Switch to explosive shell. Significant troops, damage to troops and buildings. We're going to switch to fire, fire. Bring them in fire. Broken. Well done, lads. Well done. Oh, not the accuracy there. Oh, look at that explosive shot there. Right in the middle of them. Broken. Just each enemy to be taken care of. Steady, lads, steady now. We lost one man there. Nothing anywhere else, but these will do some. These militia will do some damage. Gotta be prepared for a few losses here, but we've set ourselves up well here. See, we've sort of pulled them into this valley here. Oh, what a shot there. Oh, the explosives have been wonderful. Here come the rest. Small pockets of Danish troops. Whoa, 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 what the... They've got the 20th Regiment here. That's the last cohesive unit they have here. Come on, keep firing. Got these small other pockets of militia moving in. We need to shatter this ideally. Come on, gentlemen. Reload. Shot. Maybe we can get another shot in before they disappear. Actually, I think what we'll do, we'll change. Maybe one more shot can be sort of pulled in here. Oh, look at that! They're only shaken now. That's why we've got to focus the guns on them. Oh, look at that wonderful shot. General's dead. Egner's dead, General Egner's dead. They're broken. Right, let's bring the rest of these forces under. Trying to use the advice on the cannons here to they gave me, my friends, which has been absolutely exemplary. It really has. Oh my word, we really are sort of forming and creating here some wonderfully experienced troops here, because they've had to fight on so many different fronts, in so many different battles, in so many different regions, and they've started to form almost elite armies themselves just from their experience they're gaining here. They're absolutely destroying everything that's in front of them. Broken. We've lost 4 men there. There's a lot of small sort of troops coming in here. That militia is running, is it? Looks like it is. I mean, it's just no, they got no response for this at all. This is overwhelming odds here in Al-Qaeda. Oh. Reload, gentlemen, reload.
Line infantry.
Reload, gentlemen, reload. Ah. Oh my word, the whole army is breaking here. We're going to keep hitting them, keep firing. Come on, reload faster, lads. Where's that one arm? There it is. That's the last of their army here. These 20th Regiment here is the last we have to really worry about. All the others have been absolutely brutally shattered. Let's speed things on a bit here. Oh, they're gonna come on, gentlemen. Let them fall now. The accuracy is not good. It's not good at all. Actually, we'll try and get some of these here, just to try and get that practice in, as it were. Are they reloading here? Reload if you would, please, gentlemen. A few men here. Not a great deal, but it's enough. And these militia have returned. It's the complete annihilation of Denmark, effectively, my friends. It has just been an absolute massacre here. On this left flank, which is they've tried to move through. Steady, lad, steady now. Wait for the order. Wait for the order. Denmark. Laying down that barrage. Fire, lads. Reload the fire. Reload the fire. Come on, gentlemen. Step that up now. Step that up. Well done, men. Well done. Broken. Oh, look at that, they've taken an absolute pounding here. And once again, your advice has been proven effective as always, my friends. It really has been wonderful. The last of the militia. And the gunshots tenfold silent. Oh, they broke them. That's the last of them. Any more? Any more? Nothing. Not a thing. They've all been broken. Yes! That's it, my friends. The end of Denmark. And Reykjavik now will be in our control. What a wonderful sight. That is exactly what we wanted to see. Look at that. We lost 26 men. I think not, sir. I think not. Our first order of the day is to move in with victory.
Line for battle.
Move in.
Victory.
Yes. Yes. It is ours. Iceland is ours. Reykjavik has fallen to the British Army. Denmark destroyed. They are no more. And so we bring this like that, immediately brought under control. Now we've got 16,000 here. Oh, 8,365. Excellent. Ho, 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 ho. No, that's a port. That's already a. Actually, that's a shipyard. That'll come in handy here. We're going to make this though a trading port. Let's get this already producing for us. Is there anywhere else we've got here? Anything else on Iceland? Nothing at. Oh wait, I do beg your pardon. We'll get palatial estates, and here we should upgrade to a dockyard. We're going to start moving ourselves into full production here for ships. Now we don't need two armies here, so what we are going to do is we're probably going to. Let's replenish there. And we're going to replenish this army as well. Now once these boats replenish, this army is going to be moving out. And this army is going to remain in situ, actually. Yeah, this army is going to remain where it is. This army is going to move out until we've got Reykjavik fully under our control. Oh, what? Look at that. +1 to morale in battle. Hanover's gone as well. That means France has taken Hanover. And of course we've already got these gentlemen here, which we're going to use to complete the army here. We just need one more regiment. Hanover's gone. Yeah, France has taken it. Yep. My word, they just absolutely exploded here. I wonder if they'll lose Warsaw eventually to the Polish. They do have quite the force here. How Poland are doing here. Can we support Poland in any sort of way? No, they've got everything indeed. They certainly don't need our help. We're going to focus on our own things though here. A naval college. That'll give us preserved foods. That's quite expensive. 5,000 there. We don't. Just have to be very careful what we're doing here. Actually, we could probably get another ship here because we've lost 2 ships, which means our naval upkeep has actually gone down. And one of our... Oh, we've got some excellent ministers we would do, but he's not brilliant here. We've got a constitutional monarch, which means we can't really move anybody into position here. That would be an excellent... Kenneth Chapman would be an excellent minister. But not Virgil Collingwood. He would not be good at all. I think we shall... I think we get a first-rate ship here. Start building a second naval force. We can't get an admiral just yet. We'll look to get an admiral soon here. Maybe using this here. This fleet here is our second force, starting to build it up. Louisiana, we could. Wonder if we could hit Louisiana here in terms of raiding this trade landscape of theirs. Ho ho ho! Yes, indeed, sir. Look at that! What a wonderful sight there. We've absolutely raided that trade line beautifully here, taking Louisiana's money. New Spain here. Still providing a lot of money. 17,000, 14,000 here. France have got 17,000 coming from this region. Look at that. They've got all of North America, all of Canada under their control. It's only really the Spanish that could possibly stop them if they chose to do so. Poland have got that up there. How are they doing in terms of Spain? Ah, they're allies with France as well as Spain. My word, what a fight that would be. We have to wait for that sort of... The only other person we could take out. What about Prussia? Prussia have got no allies at all. I wonder if Prussia could be the area we attack. Who are they at war with? Poland, Genoa, New Spain and Courland. I mean, if we'd... And they're not bringing any... There's nothing coming in from them because they're at war with Genoa. I wonder if... Allied with Sweden, who are really under the cosh here, because Russia's coming for them, and Courland has got them pretty much absolutely pinned back here. We can't send Sweden anything else, can we? Let's have a look. What we send? Let's send them national debt. Wonder if they would be interested in that. I don't think so, good sir. Take short carbines off you though. Nope. I think what we will do is we'll give them national debt. Maybe that'll help them. We need to hold up the advance here of Russia if possible, but Sweden are just absolutely on their knees in terms of what they can do. Oh, there's no point in doing that because France will have everything. Look how. Yeah, they've got everything as well. So we need to focus on ourselves here. One more turn, then we can start. Then we can move to machine tools. 18,000 here. Taxes are nice and low. 64% popularity. Ottomans have got themselves back into good shape here. Right. We've got an addition. Hopefully, we'll have an additional trade line coming in here. Once these are replenished, we'll have to send a ship up here to bring back that army, which we will have to do.
Fleet ready.
We don't have any sloops available, so I think what we will do is we shall recruit a sloop, which we'll use as our transport ship. Right, let's end the turn, my friends. Let's see what happens. Is our spy moving down into Greece just to see what's happening? Because remember, we're trying to gain as much, you know, we're trying to gather as much intelligence as we can in case Poland collapses. What if Poland was to collapse? Istanbul and Greece would be available to us to attack if France really do take on the sort of Poles with any sort of great, you know, oomph, as it were, really sort of blitzer and blitzer Poles. We could take Athens and we could take Istanbul from them, and we could be set on the path again to where we were before, which is the Middle East would then be available to us. Now Russia's doing something that does something. Russia. Will we see the end of Sweden? Will we see the end of Sweden here? I'm not sure we have yet. Afghanistan. Rights of man. That is excellent. We're going to short carbines. Yes. And immediately we send this sloop up to here, where it will be used to pick up the... and we're also going to put into this now. That is now a fully fledged army. Ready to do its duty. 15,000. That's wonderful. We don't want shortened carbines. What we do need, sir, is machine tools. So we can get steam engine. We can upgrade these to modern university as well. Oh, that's minus 8 happiness. Doesn't matter that though. It'll give us classical economics, which will really boost our. I think what we'll do is we'll make Oxford the first modern university we have. any other buildings that we can upgrade here? Let's have a look. Nope. Oh, drats, we've lost a wonderful general there. We shall have to recruit a new general. Hopefully, this general will be as equally as good as our general we just lost here, Kevin McDowell. But we're going to be promoting generals very, very soon. 2 more turns, 1 more turn there till the trade port is open.
Ready for order.
To be honest with you, we might as well just send this general right back right now to Britain, just to recuperate and to maybe sort of adjust the composition of the force. We've got 8,000 left here.
Ship's orders.
I think we'll put another ship in production here. Naval College. Can't get any of these just yet. Then we need Naval College. Quickly check our other assets here. Make sure everything is up. That's the best we can get at the moment till we get free trade doctrine. Can't get anything else there. That's high yield until we get steam engine. If the Ottomans collapse, we shall pounce, my friends. Believe it, we will pounce ready. So I think we can get a naval college. Let's have a quick look at what's happening down here as well. Gather that intelligence we need. Let's see what's happening. Oh, that's a pretty formidable force. A garrison there. Yeah, that's quite a formidable force. They've got riflemen, they've got Republican Guard, they've even got household cavalry in here as well. That is a pretty strong garrison, but look how much money they're making here. I'd love to crack open the Polish here, but they're still quite strong in this region. They really are very, very strong indeed. They're at war with a lot of people though, including the Ottomans. And Prussia and Spain. If we were to attack Poland down here, would they be able to move out at all? Do they have any ships available that would really sort of hurt us? I think that France would probably, yeah, because they're at war with France. We could probably deal with most of what's happening here. I think we might be looking at taking Poland and striking at the soft underbelly of Poland here. In other words, Athens and potentially Istanbul. But we'd probably focus here in Athens and start working our way up and taking bits here of Polish. Who are their allies? Just Genoa, who are here at the moment. We have a fleet that would be able to deal with that. Maybe even Königsberg. I wonder if we could take Königsberg. So what we're going to do is we're going to move this gentleman up to here. We're going to see what's happening here. Do we have any more agents in the field? No, we've only got James Winston. Who is we're going to a long journey for him, but we're going to travel through Polish territory here, gather intelligence as we go. So it looks like either Athens or Istanbul are going to be on our target list. We need to build up those forces we need here, so we can have a strike force here. So we're going to build up another army here. We're going to have an army group moving into Polish territory, possibly here Königsberg. Now that will put us at loggerheads potentially with Poland and with Prussia. But it would put us within striking distance of Vilnius and also being able to move into Minsk. We could even gather ourselves a small eastern, sort of, Eastern Europe, Eastern Front sort of stronghold here. We'd be up against the Russian territory here. They're friendly with us. If we went to war with Poland, I wonder. I don't think they've got any troops in here, but that's not to say they haven't. They've got those armies here. If we could take Königsberg, I wonder what would be the outcome here of that. We've got the forces to do it. We would even pull this army back here from Reykjavik and just leave in its place militia. Okay, let's end the turn, my friends. Let's see what happens here. We're going to keep a close eye on what's happening here in Poland. Let's end the turn here. If they take Warsaw back, what are France going to do? What will their response be? Prussia, Poland. Mind you, we do have quite a strong alliance with Poland in terms of trade. They are pretty big trade partners of ours, but then again, if we were to take the land, we wouldn't need that trade. It really is important that we do keep ourselves, you know, well. Ooh, Lightning Doctrine is ready. One, ooh, yes. Oh, this is wonderful. We got some fantastic. Some ministers here, wonderful ministers. They've kept their places here, which is excellent to see. Oh, harsh reputation, +1 management justice, -1 lower classes, -3 clamour for reform, +1 happiness and nobility. That's okay. Oh yes, we're slowly starting as well, starting to build our fleet up here. 14,365. Got to get our tax income as much as we can here. These can join the strike force here. Could get Somerset House here, but ideally we do push our research here quite vigorously. What can be expanded here? I'm not ready yet, but we can expand this now to a commercial port. -20, they're not going to be bothered with us at all. Right, these gentlemen now are ready. Oh yes, little roads. And we're going to begin recruiting militia, so we can take this army out of here. So for that reason, we're going to move our sloop up to Reykjavik, up to Iceland, where it will sit in preparation to take that army on board and move it back to Britain. We're going to form that strike force we need, but we need to make sure we got everything here ready. Ideally, I like to get settlement fortifications here for London to really sort of absolutely solidify our grip here on Britain. We don't want another nation, as we do Louisiana, remember, coming along and just absolutely taking what they want. We can't allow that. So we might invest 1 year's worth of money into that. That might be something we need to do. I know it's taking a long time, my friends, but we are... Oh, look at that. We are doing what we can here to really push as best we can. Look at that. France, Prussia and Sweden just been absolutely hammered here. We're trying to push on as best we can here. 1,984 here from Poland, but oh, they're starting to build up quite the army here. We really do need to find out what's going on here with this war up here.
Your lordship, my watchword is discretion.
They don't have much down here, and you...
Going to
Whoa! Look at the size of these French forces. They are massive. We do need to start hitting some of the Polish territories here. 72,000 coming into Russia there. They are so wealthy. But I think we'll make this our last turn, my friends, as we sort of gather our strength here for what we need to do. And to that, actually, for that end, I think we'll start recruiting some of these elite regiments here. How many have we got? We can get 2 Black Watch. And we'll get 2 Royal Highlanders. And we'll also get our Lifeguards. Okay, let's end this term. It's been our last term, my friends. We're not doing too bad at all. We sort of got to carve ourselves out a mini empire here, as it were, but still. Right, let's end the turn. Let's see what happens. Russia. What are Russia going to do? Nothing here, but they are making so much money, Russia. There must be at least over 100,000 gold per year, or per sort of season, as it were, that goes by. Per every 3 months, they're making about 100,000 gold, which is just extraordinary. 3,099. The Ottoman Empire has been hit. That's why. Militia in Iceland. We've got another first rate here, which is going to join the brand new fleet.
Ship's orders.
At least we've got a fleet here to defend our shores, which is wonderful to see. We'll get ourselves a brand new admiral in here. Worth every penny. Now, we don't have enough of self-fortification just yet, but we might invest in Somerset House. Because we need to get everything up to where it needs to be here to really sort of make sure Britain has got itself firmly on the map here. We can get gunnery school. Is infrastructure good here? It is. Infrastructure is good here. What about in Ireland? I think that's up. Yes, it is indeed. Now, look at that. Another Irish regiment. Wonderful. How is our research doing here? 6 turns here. Carbines. We could get quicklime. Instead of shortened carbines going to give us... Oh, wait a minute. 16th Light Dragoons and Tarleton's Light Dragoons. I think we'll stick with that. But then next we'll get quicklime shell, which is one of my favourites. It's wonderful. How long until we've got this? 4 more turns we get Modern University. I think we get Somerset House. That, my friends, is quite the investment there from us. It really is.
Ready for orders.
Got to bring this under control. The resistance to occupation must be gone before we can move this army out. Infrastructure is going to be soon up and running here. Our trade port is going to be booming. We could probably get... Have we got architecture, naval architecture? We do indeed. So we can upgrade this to a dry dock eventually. And then we're going to get it up to a naval hospital. And we're going to have 2 naval hospitals within our empire. One is going to be sort of a secret naval base there in Iceland, operating in secret, away from all the prying eyes here.
At your service.
Let's bring this gentleman up. Let's just go through all the territories here.
Seeing
Look how many troops of France have got in the Eastern Front. It is quite frightening, to be honest with you. But we really do need to put out, if we're going to go for Königsberg, Prussia and Poland, we need to do this quickly, because you can see here they're forming quite a powerful army here, probably going to be aiming at Warsaw. But my friends, I'm going to end this episode here. We've been quite a successful episode for us here, I feel. Very successful indeed. But we are going to go probably for a new foray here. We're going to probably be looking at... we can even take this army out from London, I think. What we'll do is we'll get some settlement fortifications in London. We'll build another army in London, which will be a defensive force. And we'll remove this army here. We'll probably try and look at maybe probably in Scotland as well. We'll do the same, taking this army out. These are too good to be stuck here on garrison duty. And then from there, what we'll do is we will form probably 2 army groups. We'll either strike Poland from here, from Königsberg, or we'll attack from Athens and Istanbul and roll up the Polish upwards, starting from the south, and we'll move sort of progressively northwards to try and roll up all these territories here. This would give us a massive empire, it really would. An empire probably to rival almost France's here. Not quite, but it would give us a huge power base from which to operate from, maybe even into Russia, which would be fantastic. But my friends, I'm going to end this episode here on the building of Somerset House, which is the absolute architectural highlight here of British Empire here, the absolute centre of power here for Britain. But my friends, I'm going to end this here. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, please comment, like, and subscribe. And as always, my friends, please keep your comments coming down below. They've been absolutely exceptional. They really have been wonderful to have all your comments. You've helped me no end, believe me. Your comments have been exemplary. They've helped me more than you can ever know. But I hope whatever you do, my friends, hope you're having a great time. Please be careful whatever you're doing. And until next time, my friends, bye for now.